Okay, welcome back everybody. We continue Simpsons night with another game that I had when I was younger. Bart Simpson's Escape from Camp Deadly for the Gameboy. Basically, Bart and Lisa go to spend the summer at a camp, which proves to be dangerous. It's Camp Deadly, run by Mr. Burns' nephew, Ironfist Burns. So we have more relations of the Burns family that are evil. His intentions are to make sure that the children suffer and have as little fun as possible. So, this reminds me very much of the Kamp Krusty episode of The Simpsons, which I think was the season 4 premiere. But, ironically, that episode came out a year later in '92, and this game came out in '91, so perhaps the writers for The Simpsons were inspired by this game. So this first level is basically capture the flag. Lisa will give you boomerangs to fight these counselors. This game is also developed by Imagineering and published by Exclaim. I mean, for a Game Boy game, this game was alright, but this game wasn't going to win any awards, basically, for gameplay and graphics. The game has a lot of frustrating features. The jumping is tricky. The bees are a pain. These are secret. That's not a secret. It's a treehouse. But Blindside Bill kind of looks like Nelson. And with this outfit, you'll be immune to the bees for a little bit. But I believe, yeah, with the suit, you cannot use your weapon. So there's always a downside. If you fall in the water, I believe it's an automatic death. Now, we might have skipped Rebound Rodney by getting that one up. If your default weapon besides, well, you have boomerangs now, but your default weapon is spitballs. These areas are fun. You use the items, the food as projectiles. If you look, see, whenever the lunch lady is on the screen, you cannot shoot your ammo. Otherwise, she rings the bell, I believe, and then you have to eat what you have. If you look closely at the enemies, one of them will be a darker shade, like this guy, and you can tell that they leave by health. This one too. A lot of reviewers complained about the game, saying that it had little to no connection to the source material, and that it was too short. I don't know if your health are coins or chocolates. I always assumed they were chocolates when I was little. Crab apples. You should always eliminate all the consoles that you see, and try not to conserve all the ammo for the trash can. Sounds more of the same, capture the flag, but it's a lot harder with the insects around, because they have like a very unpredictable flight pattern. And you gotta try to use your spitballs to keep those guys at bay. If you stay on that branch for too long, it will snap off. I'm not sure if Nelson is in this game. A lot of these are just generic characters that were made for the game. But you're basically escaping the camp that you're in. It's amazing how far Lisa can get within the camp without having any weapons. I guess she's using her brains to outsmart everybody. Now, these enemies are a pain. Sometimes you have better luck running away from them. if you can. You want to try to draw them to you and have them go in front of your face and hit them at eye level. If only Bart had a cell phone, he could phone the police. But I don't know how effective... Stop it, Bart. I don't know how effective Chief Wiggum and his force are. I forgot about that. I mean, at least the game does have some voice acting in it. I mean, at this point, it's basically raining counselors. There is Nelson, alright. Couldn't remember if he was in the game. Last time I seen this game was... It had to be the 90s. It's a little weird how the enemy distorts when you hit him. So now we go back into the cafeteria. So it's more of the same. Try to gather as much ammo as you can. Fried smelts. Yummy. I'm surprised you don't see other evil Burns family members on The Simpsons, like in Bart versus the World, like all the other Burns family relatives. I think the best Burns relative is was his son, played by Rodney Dangerfield. Some of the game's soundtrack was also taken from The Simpsons, Bart versus the Space Mutants. Kelp burgers. So now you're gonna scale Mount Deadly to get out of the campgrounds. If you make it to this part of the game, you're doing a pretty good job. And that sound you hear is my turtle splashing like a nut. 30-year-old turtle. No joke. He's been around almost as long as The Simpsons. Can you imagine having a pet that you got when The Simpsons were on season 2 and season 1 and is still alive today? Yeah, she watches the games just as much as I like to play them and watch them too. Oh. There's a lot of insta-kill moves in this game, and getting knocked down is one of them. Every game seems to have bats, no matter what you play. These enemies pretty much take the place of the camp counselors. Those enemies would be best suited for a Treehouse of Horror game. Some of these bats you gotta get really close. Gotta get almost right on top of them to be able to just scrape by. So in the future, I'll showcase some more Simpson games. I have Krusty's Funhouse, like I mentioned earlier. And I also have one of the best Simpsons games ever made. and that was for GameCube. Was it? I think it was Simpsons Hit and Run, right? Is that the name of the game? It's basically like Grand Theft Auto in Springfield. And when I played that game, and that was the game that all Simpsons fans wanted back in the day. I think once you get off the campgrounds, the game gets even more boring. So now we're even further away from the main campsite. I believe those are park rangers. I remember getting mauled by a bear and having my game end. If you can outrun them, just outrun them. Eventually the game dictates that they cannot go any further and they'll just turn back. It's a nice trick that works. Now if you step on those twigs, the bear will wake up. They should have made the fish blinky. That would have been funny. So this is the first Game Boy game that I'm showcasing. And there's plenty of games online that I can have access to, because I can't play it on a Game Boy and film it. It would be too difficult to see. So I can also use the Super Game Boy to play the games on TV. So whenever an opportunity comes up where I can show you a game on Game Boy, I'll play one. You know, I will go live and you guys can watch and enjoy. Some Game Boy games I want to do in the future that I have, besides this one, is Super Mario Land, Metroid 2. I have the Pyramids of Ra. That's a fun puzzle game. That would be a cool game to do one day. I have Chase Headquarters, which I showed you the arcade version earlier in the week. We can also play Link's Awakening. So, you know, the opportunities are endless. There's many games for many systems that I can show you and play. Alright, Lisa is captured. And here's Ironfist Burns. You want to try to get him to deflect that boomerang to hit the light up there. And there's the lights out. And there you go. That's the end of the game.